guys, how's it going? So today's video I wanted to share with you how I edit my Instagram photos. So I recently did a video just on my 5 tips on how to take better photos in general, and then from there I actually got a few requests on how I actually edit my photos and what filters I use and all of that. So I'm going to be sharing with you all of my tips and my secrets, so let's get to it. Okay guys, so usually when I edit my photos, there's just a couple apps that I use. So right now I have 2 photos that I favorited, and then I will just decide from there kind of thing which one I want to go with. So I have this photo here, and then I also have this photo, and I think I like this one a little bit better, so I'm going to go ahead and edit that one. So usually the first thing I'll do is crop it if I'm not happy with how it is. So I'll go into the edit just in the iPhone settings, and I will crop it from there. Oh my god, I hate when it turns like that. So I like to crop at 4:5. I like the longer photos, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I'm finding there's just a little bit too much space on the right of me, so I'm just gonna bring up the crop a little bit and sort of center myself a little bit better. So I think that's looking okay. So I'll just say done and then save that photo. And then the next app that I like to use is Snapseed. So this is a free app, I believe, in the App Store. So I'm just gonna open the photo that I just cropped, and then we will start editing. So the first thing that I do is just go to the little pencil icon in the bottom right corner, and I'll always hit Tune Image first. And I like to adjust the brightness a little bit. I really like my photos nice and bright. So I'll bring that up maybe to a 20. And then I'll always adjust the contrast a little bit, just until I'm happy with it. And then ambience, I always like to bring that up a little bit as well. I find it just makes me look more tanned, which I'm all about. So I'll bring that up a notch. And then I also play around with the highlights and the shadows, but it totally depends on the photo. So just use your judgment and see, what needs a little bit more, what doesn't. So I think for this photo, I want to bring out the highlights a little bit, and I think the shadows are actually pretty deep, so I'm not gonna go too hardcore on that. So maybe just like a 6 or a 7. And then the next thing that I like to do, I really like detailed photos, so I'll go to details, and I'll bring the structure up a little bit, so maybe around 30, and then I'll also sharpen it, usually around a 10. And then after I've done that, I will go to the brush tool. So there's actually a lot of really cool options in the brush tool, and whoa, it's so bright. So there's actually a lot of really cool options in the brush tool. So dodge and burn is always the first one I'll go to. Again, I try to make myself look a little more tanned because it is summer and I'm still so pale. It's really sad. So I usually just brush that on a little bit. So I'll leave that, and then I also hit the saturation. I'm finding the background is just a little bit too yellow over there, so I'll bring the saturation to like a -5, and then I'll just brush, excuse me, I'll just brush that on the background, and you can see it's like getting rid of the yellow. And the road. And then same with this wall, I'm finding it a little blue, so I'll just brush over that a little bit as well. So yeah, and then you can also go up if you've made any mistakes, and then you can just erase it after. So I just like to go over my face a little bit in case I desaturated that a little bit. So I'll just give that a good brush. And then you can see the before and after, just like how different that looks already. And I'm also finding that my top is a little bit blue actually. So this is a white top that I'm wearing. So I'm gonna go back in with the saturation and just quickly brush over that and make it not blue. And then same thing, I'm just gonna make sure I didn't desaturate my skin at all, so just go around quickly with the eraser. So yeah, that's looking okay-ish. So in Snapseed also you can use the healing tool. So this can just like erase things as well. So I'm just gonna go and get rid of a couple blemishes that I have. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for Snapseed. And now the next app that I like to use a lot is Facetune. So I'm just gonna open this into Facetune and then continue on from there. So once I'm in Facetune, I usually don't do too much in Facetune, but I really love the smooth tool. So I will generally go across my skin with that. It just smooths everything out so nicely. So that's what I'm doing here. Just across my arms and then on my face. And with this, like, it's really easy to go overboard. So I try to use it just enough that it still looks kind of natural, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I will do in Facetune. And then sometimes I'll take the tones here and I want to make my eyelashes maybe look a little bit darker. So if you just pick up on the tone there, it's like a nice black color. And then you can just brush it. You can see it just makes it a little bit darker and makes them stand out a little bit more. Nothing crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I do in Facetune, and then after that I will just save it to my camera roll, and then I like to open it into VSCO, and this is where I use my filters. So this is usually the last step before I upload to Instagram. So I will just bring that in. So I'll just bring that in and I will add my filter to it. So in VSCO Cam, I really like the filter a 6. So that's usually what I will use. So I'll just bring it down, usually to about a 4. Depends on the photo though at the same time. And then you can also edit a little bit in here. They have a couple tools. So if you're still finding it a little bit dark, then you can bump up the exposure. So maybe I'll just add that to like a 2. And then also there's a sharpen tool in here, which is pretty cool. So it just brings out a little bit more details. And yeah, you can do highlights, shadows, whatever you think is still needing adjusting kind of thing. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I do in VSCO as well. So you can just see the before and then the after. For this one, I find that this filter just really helps brighten it up. It also makes the shadows nice and deep, which is why I like this one a lot. And yeah, that's pretty much it for how I edit my photos. From there, I'll just save it to my camera roll and then upload it straight to Instagram. I don't use any of the Instagram filters or tools on there. So that is it, guys. I have just spilled my Instagram beans, and those are my editing secrets. So hopefully you guys learned something new. Let me know which apps you guys use for editing photos and if you have any tips or tricks yourselves. And I guess I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!